I'm going in. Shh. Good evening. Good evening, guys. How are you all? Hello. Hi, Sandra. Nice to meet you. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Ramatu.
Hello, Kelly.
Hi. Hi, Mira. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Jack. How are you? How are you all, guys?
Good evening.
Good evening, Jack. Good evening, Mira. Good evening, Yinka.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hi. So, guys, for those of you who are new to the session, we've got quite a quiet one tonight. We've got a lot of people with head colds and poorly. We've got quite a lot of questions to get through for them. As usual, everything that we talk about is going to be recorded and you'll find it on the platform under the classroom. So if there's anything that you want to watch again or listen to, please feel free to watch it back. It'll be on there tomorrow from around midday. As soon as the tech people just pop it on there. So we are going to start off. I'm going to ask everybody to drop in the chat, where are you at with your journey? So have you chosen your product? Are you launching your product? What do you need? In the chat, you can type. You don't have to come on the mic if you're embarrassed. You can just literally type in the chat. Likewise, if you don't want to say anything, you don't have to. But I thought because it's a smaller session tonight, we could really get into a lot of the question and answers. Now, I know a few of you are brand new. So with the brand new sellers, I'm going to literally take you through just a bit of a roadmap about your Amazon journey and how you begin looking for products. Now, for most of you, you may have just started to work through the welcome videos and module 1. And that is really the best place to start, because when you are starting off on Amazon, what's really, really important is that you don't start to open your Seller Central account, open a limited company and go racing ahead. Because what's really important is you put all your focus on finding a winning product. So Sandra, wow, you've already found your product. I'm super impressed. Sandra has just started, like literally this week. So she's already found a product. Wow, that's amazing. I think you're going to do very well. So what I would say is go to module 1 and just really look at how we look to see, is it a good product? Is it a bad product? To remember, when we go from that step, we can go to all the different platforms like Alibaba, Made in China. There's lots of different sourcing websites, but also if you are looking at a category, you can go to trade shows and you can pick up contacts there. Sometimes I've also got suppliers that I can help you with. And I think if you can try and launch a product that's unique in some way, I know Mira's doing something completely unique and it's her product, so I'm not going to talk about it, but it's a custom product that nobody else is selling. Obviously, they're selling in the same category, but the aim is trying to bring something different so that you are not competing with the next person. Remember, that's why we teach private label. We're not about wholesale. We're not about retail arbitrage, because that is basically reselling and selling other people's products. And as long as you don't have the license and maybe the product runs out of stock and you're against all these other sellers, it's just an absolute nightmare, because you find yourself doing the same thing over and over and over again. So let me just share something with you. It is on the beginning of the platform. It's not the most pretty. It's not the most pretty of forms, but let me just see if I can bring it up for you. So hopefully now you can see my screen. So just to talk you through the journey of the product. So this is especially for the newbies here. Obviously, if you're a little bit more advanced, you're probably like, I know all this already. So what we do first is we find a product in a familiar area. And the reason that we ask you to do that is because if you are sense checking a product, you've got samples from factories and you've called in 2 or 3 samples, what's really important is that you can give feedback. You might be buying the best sellers from Amazon as well. So you can literally take the product and you're like, right, what's different? Comparing them from literally the minute you open the product to when you pull up the manual to when you're going through the product. So it's really important that you choose something that you know a lot about, because if you decide, for instance, to do something to do with, I don't know, skydiving or kite flying, but you don't actually know anything about them, you might actually choose a kite that's like completely the wrong material, or maybe it breaks, or maybe there's a reason that it was like done like 10 years ago. So if you can try and find a passion product, and again, this is why I call it the perfect product formula, because it's like the perfect product formula is doing something that you know a lot about. So if you do a lot of fishing, or you do a lot of running, or you do like, try to find something in those niches, because when you get the products back from the factories, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is really good. Or do you try it on and you go out on a run and you're like, do you know what? This is like really annoying. The strap's too small. We need to make it longer. So that's why we always start with something that is familiar. So that is your first step. Think about, brainstorm. Obviously, if we're working on a one-to-one level, you're doing done with you or done for you. We do this anyway. But if you are doing the course on your own, it's always a really good place to start. And then obviously the next thing that we need to do is we need to find the right factory. And this is so important. So when you're in this step, once you've found the product, you need to go to module 2 and you need to learn about how to source. And we can touch on it today as well if we have time. But it's really about going into the sourcing platforms if you haven't got direct factory contacts, and making sure you search by verified suppliers, making sure you find the right certifications, looking on the government website. The worst thing is that you start buying product, and then when you get it to Amazon and Amazon asks you to upload the certification, you don't have them, then you can't sell them and you're left with loads of stock. So you must do your homework beforehand. If you're stuck, you can always ask the team and they will be able to help you. Once you've got your samples, which is the next stage, you order your samples. And like I say in the modules, 2 or 3 samples, maybe. I know it might be $50, $80. It's the best money you will spend because, well, apart from my course, of course. But if you don't order the samples and you don't check them, how can you sell them on Amazon and start spending 500, 1,000, 2,000 pounds on stock? You're going to get found out, because on Amazon, there is nowhere to hide. If you launch a bad product and you get bad reviews, forget ever doing well on Amazon, because your reviews are everything on Amazon. So it has to be a really good product. So that's why we don't miss out the sampling step. Okay, so I can't reiterate that enough, that you have to approve the samples. Okay, when you get to the stage, you look at them, you order the best sellers, you have a look, what's in the pack, what's in the manual, what are people, then you start reading the reviews. And if you go onto AMZ Scout, there's a way that you can read the reviews quicker, find the reviews. Same if you're using Helium 10 or one of the other scouting tools, and you can just look, are people moaning about this product? Have you found a product purposely selling a lot but under 4-star reviews? Well, if you have, they'll be moaning about why the product is bad. Maybe it's breaking, maybe something's not long enough, tall enough, whatever. So if you can correct those things, and maybe you've even got a product that you think, oh my God, this is just such a bad product. I can improve it. And it may be something so simple. I had a client just last week that brought something in the States and is using it literally every single day. And when she was looking here in the UK, it's not available, not at all available. So now that's the beginning of her product concept. So, it may be that you find something like that. It may be that you just, you just think, well, I know a lot about knitting or crafts, or we love doing that together as a family. Or maybe it's a baby shower gift, or it can be absolutely anything, guys. Okay, so today I'm also going to share with you some of the trending products, some of the products that are doing really, really well right now on Amazon. And sometimes when we look at trending products and emerging products, it can actually give us a clue to what's coming, because these are coming out of the States. So the States are normally advanced, you know, in product, obviously not in politics, say no more, but in product. So yes, so we've got to, number one, finding products in a familiar area. We find then the right product. Good evening, Abel, by the way. Then we order and approve the samples. Then we improve and buy the bestseller. And then we choose the brand name, the logo, and the packaging. So basically, say we've got, this is one of my products I've just launched in TK Maxx, it's now on Amazon. So say, for instance, you get your sample, you've formulated your perfume, and then you get it and you order the bestsellers and you're like, okay, we've got the formula now, we know what we want. That at that stage, you're going to be thinking about the brand name, the logo, and the packaging. When we choose the brand name, what's really important.
And event detection recording.
Hi, Robert. I've just muted you, by the way. Hi. Nice to see you. So when we get to that stage, we are going to be looking at what name is available to us. And we can simply look on the government website and we can look under trademarks. Again, I cover this all in the modules. And the reason we want to look at the government website, and again, I can flick you through any of this after so I can show you as well, is so that we know that name, that brand name is available. There's no good thinking, oh, I want to call this product Elements. And then you start getting the designer to design the packaging, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, this is great. You send it to the packaging company, the product company, they start printing it out, and then you go to launch your brand and maybe register your trademark. And then you're like, oh, there's already like 5 other brands in this category called Elements. And then you're going to have a really big problem, because you may even get them challenging you selling on Amazon with that brand name. So before you even start looking at the logo, you need to do that government search for the trademark for a name that you like the look of, or maybe you've just kind of put it in an AI tool to say, give me some names that maybe you want to put all your kids' names together, or you want to put like something, I don't know, something that you love, and you come up with some ideas. Then you can literally just go onto the ipo.gov.uk, search trademark names, put these names in and see if they exist. Because what you want with a brand name is you don't actually, when you're looking at a brand name, you don't want somebody to actually oppose it, because it ends up costing a lot of money. So you want to be sure when you choose a brand name that you're going to get it. The trademark, when you get to that stage, it's £170 to do your trademark directly with the government website. You don't have to do it through any attorney because it costs a fortune. And literally we do the logo then and the word mark, and it gives us really good protection. And the reason the trademark is so important is people say to me all the time, well, why do I need the trademark? Isn't that just extra cost? If you ever get to the stage where you want to sell your brand, the first thing the investors are going to say is, do you own the IP? And the intellectual property is the trademark. That's one of the intellectual properties is your trademark. And the trademark gives you confidence that nobody else can use that name in your category. If you don't have that trademark, then what really do you have? Because you don't have any protection. So that's why the trademark is so important. In terms of Amazon, the reason the trademark is really important is because you can have extra content on your listing. So you can have videos, which sell products so much better, not just listing images. And you can have what we call a brand store and A+ content. And I'll go into that in more detail. And I go into that in a lot more detail in the actual modules. So it's really, really important to not miss that step out. So when we've checked the name and we know we can get the logo, we know we can get that trademark, we then design the logo, and then obviously we do the packaging. And the packaging is really exciting because that's when the product starts to come to life. Now, whether you're doing a single product or you've bundled some items together, you will start to look at the cutter guide that you'll get from the factory, laying out the box flat, and then where all of the images and the text goes. And then when the box is folded up, it looks like a proper retail carton that will sit on any retail shelf. So that's called a cutter guide or a deco. And again, you can read all about that in the modules, and it really goes through everything about how you lay it out, because there are things as well that you're going to need on here. Like you're going to need all of the, you know, the warning signs if you're doing product like this, if you're doing personal care, you're going to need ingredients. But even if you're doing something like a tech product, then this is one of my products. You will need things like, you know, distributed by, you'll still need all of your certificates on there. And again, you will need all of the information. So it's shelf ready, but it's also Amazon ready. It's the same thing. We think of Amazon like being on the shelf in a retail store. So it's retail ready. We're not just going to put it in a horrible brown box and hope someone buys it. So we've now done the trademark and the brand name. And for those of you guys who just joined, hello. We are just working through, this is in the beginning of the modules, but we've got quite a few newbies tonight. So I just wanted to talk through, like, what does the journey look like when you are launching on Amazon? And we've been through finding a product in a familiar area, picking the right factory, ordering and approving samples. Then we comp them and we improve the product. We buy the best sellers that are selling really well. We choose the brand name. Again, we check on the IPO first. We do the logo, we do the packaging. And then we work with the factory and we work on the cost. We never accept the first price, even if we can get them down 50 cents is better than nothing. So we try to negotiate, definitely. And our logistics, we always do DDP, remember, so duty delivery paid. So we know exactly what we're paying. We're not going to get involved in bringing a container load of product or half a container on the first time. We will only bring up to 200 products, okay? That's because when we put our products into Amazon, they only allow us to store up to 200 units. Now, we're not going to be buying thousands and thousands, okay? That's for when you've got more experience. In the beginning, up to 200 units. And those units will be then stored in Amazon FBA. And every time someone orders your product, Amazon will ship that product to the client. They will fulfill it through the post, through delivery themselves, and they'll do the customer service. And if there's any returns, they'll do that as well. So they will look after, that's what you're paying your FBA fee. And your FBA fee, remember, comes off the selling price. And it's around 15% plus a little bit because you've got referral fee, for Amazon putting you in front of their customers, and then you've got a storage fee. So makes up to just over 15%, depending on how heavy your product is and what the dimensions are. So we've worked with the factory then, we've got the price, and we're like, okay, this is going to be $3. And we know the DDP price for the freight is going to be, say, $1. So we know all in our cost is $4, okay? So that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for at this stage, okay, what is our cost? What is our freight, DDP? So the reason that we do DDP, just to reiterate, because when it's coming in, what we don't want is we don't want to have to pay duty and customs and all of that complicated stuff when you guys are bringing in such a little shipment. You may even, depending on whether you go in small and light or large, you may even get it into like 5 cartons or 4 cartons. There's no way we want to be dealing with like less than container loads and all of that stuff. So that's why we do DDP. Now, when we've got the product and we place the order, we've negotiated, we are then going to move on to start preparing our listing on Amazon. So we would have opened our store, we've got our trademark, we've applied for it, we've opened our company and our bank. And again, I go through this in loads and loads of detail in the modules. There's 4 main modules, but I'm just talking you through the journey, just so you can kind of start to understand what does this process look like, especially for the people that need to hear it. At the stage of ordering, it's really the stage of when we begin preparing everything on Amazon. We begin preparing our keywords, our listing, our images, our video, our A+ content. We really look at all of that information, because remember, It's like selling a house. You wouldn't sell a house with bad images. You choose the best agent to come, you clean for days, you put pictures up, you make it look amazing, and then goes the photos. Because you're only going to sell the product if you have great images. And again, I have a whole section where I talk about first image is always on a white background. 85% of that initial shot is product. It's got to be on a white background, no logos on the background. And then after that, we have other images and we have infographics, which is information and graphics together. And then we always finish with some lifestyle shots because people want to see what the product looks like in reality. So say, for instance, you're selling a light, or in an office, you're selling a light, or maybe you're selling a bookshelf like the one behind me. People want to see, what does it look like in real life? Like if it's in my lounge, how big is it? So it has to be true to size. So again, it's really important that you put the products into the living environment. If it's a sports product, someone in the gym with it, or someone at home doing a workout. So after we've done all of that, we then create our shipment within Amazon. We send via email and a PDF the labels to the factory. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? You're going to send the labels from your Seller Central account to somebody in China you've never met or wherever, and then they're going to send your products into Amazon. I mean, it sounds bizarre. And I remember the first time I did it, I thought, wow, really? How does that happen? And I know a few people on here tonight have had a little challenge with labels, barcodes, not mentioning any names. But it's actually pretty simple. When you get your head around it, it's fine. So I go through, how do you buy barcodes? There's only one place to buy them from. We don't buy any on the black market. It's an absolute nightmare if you don't buy them from GS1. Then we put them into our Seller Central account. It turns into Amazon labels. We send them to the factory and bingo, everything gets delivered into Amazon. It's like clockwork. It's not quite as quick as Prime, but it is good. When we get our products into Amazon, people then think, oh, I can just sit back, relax, and that's it. That's not it, okay? We've got the real estate, we've got the products, but nobody knows about us. So what we do is we develop a 90-day ad strategy. We enroll in the Vine program, which is a way legally and with Amazon's blessing that we can get early reviewers, because there's nothing worse than having an amazing product and nobody's buying it because there's no reviews on it. You know, when you look at those products and you're like, that's got 100 5-star reviews and that's got 1 5-star review. And they're the same price. Well, what are you going to do? You're probably going to buy the one with 100 reviews, right? Because or maybe you've not got any reviews, even worse. So what we do in the beginning is we enroll in Vine, which is early reviewer program, and we try and get as many reviews as possible, as fast as we can. We do have to give away free products. So if the products cost you $5 or $10, you might give away 20, but you get verified, bona fide reviewers, and Amazon deals with that for you. There's a small fee, but it's worth its weight in gold because we know we've got a great product. We know we've done our research. We know that it's going to sell. We know people are going to love it because remember, we've tested the sample. We've done this amazing brand, this lovely box. We've done every single thing that we need to do. So we now know we are ready to go. Okay. All we need now is the reviews. So we enroll in Vine, we develop our ad strategy, we launch the product, and bingo, then we start to sell. So that's what the map of Amazon looks like. That's why we can't do it in 20 days. Okay. So we have to follow the step by step. And some people say to me, Kelly, I just want to launch a product now. That's it. I'm not bothered. Just launch me a product. It doesn't work like that. Okay. It's not a get rich quick scheme, guys. We have to follow the steps because we want to be sure at every step we've done it correctly. Okay. If we take a bit of time, we check the samples, we check everything, we are going to do great. But if we try to rush and just miss out, oh, I'm not going to buy the bestseller, I'm not going to check my samples this time, oh, I'm not going to check the trademark name. I'm just going to like do it quick. For sure, you're going to fall down. Okay. So this is the map. This is the map to product success. It's in the instruction section. So just make sure if you print it out or put it in your book, or if you're a digital person, just put it in your file. So you've got it and you can go, right, what stage am I at? And give yourself a goal. Right, this week, I'm going to find a winning product. That's what I'm going to do. So every waking hour, every minute you have outside working and the kids and your busy life, even if it's 10 minutes, you go onto your sourcing tool, you go onto AMZ Scout, and you look for those things I've taught you, the PL score, the niche scores, everything. And you just, even if you've got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that's what you do. When you've got your winning product, boom, cross it out, onto the next stage. Okay. And that's how we work through the list. And this goes hand in hand with how I teach in the module. And that's why, you know, when people come to me, they're like, oh, yeah, I've already opened my Seller Central account. And I'm like, okay. And they think it's really impressive. Wow. To be honest, you don't even need a Seller Central account in the beginning. You need to find a product. Okay. So that's why we start with that. That's number one, number uno. So lecture over. I am going to start looking at your questions. Welcome everybody that has joined us. Hello. Guys, there's no such thing as a bad question. This is a Q&A session for you guys. So I'm here every last Thursday of the month. We do an hour together, Q&A, anything you want to ask. If you want to you want me to talk over your product, you want me to, whatever you want to do, obviously product based, we will do it. And this is the hour to do it in. It's always recorded and I put it on the platform, well, the team put it on the platform the next day. So after module 3, I think it is, you'll see like all the trending products. There's loads of stuff on there. And then there's all the classrooms. We've got probably 16 to 20 hours of classrooms on there. So if ever you're bored, you know, cleaning the house on a Sunday and you're like, what can I listen to? You can listen to this. I mean, you know, if you want to get into Amazon so badly, you've got to learn the lingo. So you can put our classrooms on and by the end of it, you might know a few things. So let me go to the questionnaires. Okay, I'm just going to stop screen sharing for a second. Okay, let's have a look in the chat. Guys, if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. So Mira, the 90-day program, what did I talk about? The ad strategy is for every single product that you launch, I recommend having a 90-day strategy. So it might be like week 1, enroll in Vine, week 2, start the auto and the manual ads, week 3. There's some ideas in the last module. I just added some, but again, you can use a lot of the AI tools. You can also look at the ads, the basic ads that I've put on there. And it's really around the keywords as well and looking at like what ads are the best ads, but always start off with the automatic and the manual ads. And then we can get onto like exact and broad match. There's lots of different ads you can run on Amazon. You can set a daily amount. And what's nice is you can see what sales they're returning. I'll show you in one of my accounts shortly. I've got the perfumes that we've just sold. We've got like 40,000 units. We sold them. It's actually not an Amazon strategy. It's a TK Maxx strategy in UK and Europe. But we've also just launched them on Amazon like literally a couple of weeks ago. So I can show you at like our ads so far, like how they're performing and all of that kind of stuff. So we can do that. Sandra, I know you found a product. Are you happy with your product? Do you need any help with your product? Do you have any questions? And the same with Ramatu. I think you're just starting out, so maybe you don't have that many questions right now. But if you do, feel free, put them in the chat. You won't be judged. There's no such thing as a bad question, and we can get to answering them. Now, I have a few questions. So I am going to, while I wait for your questions, and you know, sometimes we don't have any questions, and that's also fine. So if you're just logging in because you're just a bit curious, that's also fine. I've had a lot going on and not engaged. Okay, Bernard, please don't worry. you know, life gets in the way, okay? Some of my best students have had big pauses. What I would say is go back to the beginning, because there are things that you're going to remember, and there are going to be things what you've completely forgot. You get lifetime access to the course, okay? So you get lifetime access to the course. We're never going to block you out of the course. You get 12 months of coming to these sessions. It's just 1 year. So, you know, even if you don't come to the live ones, there's like I said, 16 to 20 hours of classrooms anyway. So when you get to the end of the 12 months, there's also a way you can upgrade to stay on the live course. But, you know, don't worry about that for now. I'm sure you're not even into your year. So let me show you. What do I want to show you? Okay. Let's go into, I'm going to go into some of the winning products. I'm going to go into some of the trending products right now. It might give you some ideas, especially for the newbies. And then, so I'm going to show you like lots of new products that are doing really well in the US. And like I said before, the ones that have just joined us, we normally find the trends coming from the US in terms of Amazon, because a lot of Amazon sellers do not sell in the UK. It's okay. We're happy with the UK, but the US is like 10 times as big as the UK, but you need 10 times the amount of money to start there. So, you know, start here, hone your craft, do it well, get the good reviews, learn how Amazon works. And then on your Amazon platform, there's drop-down boxes, and you can literally enroll. It actually automatically enrolls you in quite a lot of countries as you build up trust. But you can start to look at selling in the US, selling in all different places. So it really is, the world is your oyster with Amazon, and you can really sell in all countries. So let's have a quick look at some of the products doing really well. Now, for those of you who know me well and that are in the course, I do mostly say, now you're going to think I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I normally say over £30 a product, because the reason why is we try to work to rules of thirds. Third cost of product and shipping, third Amazon cost and FBA, and third profit. And the lower price you do, it's much harder to make, you know, profit, and you might only be making a few pounds, and it's a lot of work. I've recently launched a product that is $14.99, but my strategy is TK Maxx, because we've bought them and we're selling them, and we're selling like 40,000 units. However, because we've got some over, we are going to sell them on Amazon, and we will make money because we've made the margin already in store. So just sometimes you can go under that. But for a rule of thumb, for a very general rule of thumb, I always stick over £30 if Amazon is my first strategy. And remember, you don't have to just sell in one place, guys. You can sell, you can have very big aspirations and sell in many stores. So I'm just going to make sure I am sharing my screen. Okay, so the first product is grip socks. Well, those of you with kids, no surprise, because they love them in the football boots and all the other things. This seller is doing over $11,000 a month. These are all monthly figures. For those of you who haven't been in before, you haven't seen the software. So it's over $11,000 a month, and the average price of the product is $16.20. So again, great product. Just checking you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen okay? Can I just have a yes in the chat just to check that you can see my screen? I don't want to show you all these. Let's have a look. Can you just give me a yes? Can you see my screen? Give me a yes, give me a yes. Yes, okay, perfect. I'm coming back to you, Yinka and Sandra, in a minute, so don't worry. Green tea purifying clay mask. Again, my background is beauty, for those of you who know me, 20 years in beauty, so kind of my bag. Green tea has so many antioxidants, great ingredient. Clay mask, over $6,000. It's just started, so this is going to do really good. Newborn baby shower gift basket. If at any time I'm calling out products you can't see the visuals, just give me a shout in the chat. Again, beautiful basket, loads of babies always coming into the world. You know, do it once, do it right. Beautiful gift with lots of different things a new parent's going to need. Boom. It's going to sell like hotcakes, isn't it? Paintball anti-fog mask. Well, this one got me a little bit. $52 as well. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've all played paintball, but normally get the equipment there, but maybe not in the States. I'm not sure. Rattan floor lamp. $26,000 a month. Wow, like a bit of that. Niche score of 8. Remember, always looking for a high niche score. Green is like really good, 8, 9, 10. And piano lights for digital piano and grand piano. So professionals that clip on a light, $70 this light is, over $8,000 in sales. So again, fantastic. You know, probably making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, one product, not touching it, deliver from factory into Amazon, boom, done. Okay, a lot of you only want £2,000, remember. I mean, you know, a lot of you aren't wanting a lot of money from your business, right? First stages. Bedlock sheet hole folders, fit all sheet size. Cool. You know, over $40,000. So they're like the clips, right? Yeah. Pet dog memorial. Oh, how sad. $9,000. That's a sad one, isn't it? Enclosed subwoofer car audio. AirTag wallet for men. Great. So you can never lose your wallet. Like that idea. I've seen a lot of this kind of product around. Eco-friendly lanyard. Don't know how quite that works. Eco-friendly. Maybe it's just, yeah, material. 2-in-1 rust converter and metal primer for those DIY fanatics. And another one, mosaic glass piece tiles, kids smartphone. Lots of those around because people don't want them on the big kind of the iPhones having all of the apps. So again, age appropriate. So some of the trending products, remember on the platform, there's lots and lots of trending products all the time. I put them every month, all the trending products. So you can look there for ideas as well. They're really, really useful, especially if you're getting a bit of a mind blank. And also don't worry if you kind of find a first product and then like you do everything and you get the samples and you're like, I'm not really feeling it. Like I've done that so many times and you know, it's been a blessing. So don't worry. It does take time. Your first product is always the hardest. But the more you do it, the better you get. Okay. You just instinctively know if this is going to work or not. Right. That's enough of trending products. I am going to now get back to a few more questions because I've got a few. And I know we're not far. Well, oh my God, 21 minutes. Okay. Okay, Sandra, you found a product, but you're struggling to find a factory because it's a new idea with its own formula. Okay, if it's a beauty product and you need it formulating, it's not a problem. We have loads of great factories here in the UK that do personal care. So I would say if you're doing anything that goes on the skin, i.e. suntan, moisturizers, body creams, makeup, I would try to make it here in the UK because they understand the UK legislation. We have a portal that your product has to be on legally. There are quite a few hidden costs with doing personal products because you have to develop the formula, you have to work with a chemist. I have loads of contacts, so I can help you with this product. But for a first product, it's quite a hard one. So, you know, it's definitely you can do it. But if you're going to start with your own formula, then yeah, we need to have another discussion because it's doable completely. It's a bit like when you do supplements for your first product, because it's going to go in the body. There's a lot of regulations around it, and of course, we want it to be that way because we want to be safe, right? So, it's not a problem. I can definitely help you, but maybe not on the classroom tonight because it will probably take a little while to talk about in more detail. So perhaps if you can message the team and speak to them about the product, then I can wish you some factories or something over tomorrow. Yinka, patent. It's quite an interesting one. With patents, if you type into any AI tool, it should be able to tell you and take you to a pattern. So if I have a client at the moment that is bringing out a product, but there's a patent on it in the US, but there isn't in Europe and the UK. And we needed to find out exactly what part of the product had the patent on it. And believe it or not, we looked at patents and we thought we'd find the document, but we also typed it. I just typed it into like a few AI tools, and I got it. I mean, they found it and was like, this is the patent, this is the part of the product. And then it was like, okay, so we're not going to do the US anyway, but now we know exactly. And normally, if someone's done a patent, it's a part of the product. So it's like the way something attaches, or it can be like if it's a magnet, or it can be like, so you need to find out like, what is it patented the whole product? If it is, I'd just walk away. But if it's like a certain part of it, as long as you can change that in its entirety, then it's fine. Because, you know, you're not going to go and copy something, because then you're stupid, right? You're going to lose everything. But if you do it completely different, but I would just say, like, type in the brand name, the website, like put as much information as you can into all the AI tools, whichever one you use, whether you use Pebbly, whether you use Chat, whether, like, there's so many. Put it into there and say, look, I really want to find out what is the patent on this product. This is the website, blah, 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 blah. Or can you search worldwide to see if it has any patents? It will come up.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that helps. Yes, it's a tricky one. Yeah, thank you. I'll try that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, so anything to do with beauty products, like if you need help formulating it, I can help you in terms of, you know, working with the right factory. And there is a process, because obviously, like I said, it does go on the body. So it's going to be absorbed into the bloodstream. And so it's really important that you follow the right steps. And once you've got your formula, so what we call this on the back, so when you have an ingredients listing, I won't go into too much detail because it is literally like, I'll put you to sleep. But for instance, like the ingredients there, we call it the Inky list. There's actually a brand now called the Inky list, really clever actually. But it's not spelt the right Inky. Inky is INCI and the brand is INKEY. Anyway, that aside, the Inky list is the names, and it's always done like food, like the biggest ingredient is first, but even the Inky has to be a certain way, and it has to match the CPSR of your formula of your product has to match, and it has to pass all the tests at the science labs. So it has to say, yeah, this is your MSDS, this is safe to put on your body, this is your Inky, this is what you need to put on your packaging, and then you have to have like all the warning signs, everything. So it's a little bit more complicated than say doing something that is like a running vest, or I don't know, something like that. So it does take a certain process, but it's worth it. I love doing beauty products, and you know, I've done really well over time with beauty. So that is that. Any more questions, guys? Get them in the chat. I am going to show you real quick AMZ Scout. For those of you who want to order the software, remember we have a money off code as well. It's Kelly AMZ. So make sure you type that in when you're on your checkout, because that'll give you a bit of a discount. So let me hold on. Let me share my screen again. I like to reshare it because otherwise it gets stuck. It's a little stuck. So this is inside your AMZ Scout. But first we're going to go to Amazon, because if you do this properly, and if you, for instance, if you have the Pro Tool, I'm trying to get my brain to say what my I'm thinking, and it's just not working tonight, you can tell. So basically you download the Pro extension tool. So even if you're trying it for free, again, this is all explained in the modules. Literally what you do is you just go onto Amazon. So you may be in the UK or the US or whatever, and you just randomly type like something in here. So we're going to put, I quite like the idea of that newborn baby. Don't worry, I've had all my babies, but gifts. I thought it was a really clever idea, actually. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my Pro extension tool, of course, which is up here because I've downloaded it. And then what it does is it brings you this amazing listing of all the products. And remember, what we're looking for ultimately is a high niche score. So we're looking for like niche scores up here, really 7s and above. And we've got a 7, so that's pretty good. And a visibility score, it just shows you here, you can see. So 0% of our users have discovered this niche. So you want a low visibility score. You don't want a 10, you want a 0 or 1, yeah? So we're looking for a low visibility score. We're looking for a high niche score, highest possible. And then what we're looking for is some green score. So PL here means private label, remember? So we're looking for some nice green scores. And then when we find the green scores, we look at what that product is. And again, we can open up the side panel by dropping down this cursor here and adding it to our tracker. We can also look at their profit calculator. We can look at all of this stuff, okay? And we can really get nerdy. But it's interesting it's pulling out this one at a 7. So the revenue at the moment is only £1,300 a month. They're selling the products at £33. And it's just a little sleeping teddy. I mean, that is pretty easy, isn't it? Obviously, you'd have to have baby safety and things like that. But I mean, £33 for this product. I imagine it costs them like $3. I'm being cynical, but you know. And then what else have we got? Newborn baby gift set. Welcome to the world. Look how cute that is. How much is it selling for? £36. And they're doing £5,000. Wow. And what is this one? It's a baby box. Wow. Doesn't look like a lot in there. How much are you paying? £30. FBA fees. So that's what they're going to deduct from every single sale. So you know all this stuff. I'm just looking at it. So it's like a shoebox, basically. They're selling 400 units a month. And they're doing £8,000. Thank you very much. So if you made a third of 8,000, for those of you good at maths, what is that? 2,666 reoccurring in your bank, cha-ching. Quite nice. So again, we've got some sellers, look, doing more, lots more in this category, £26,000. So again, it's looking at what can you do different? If this was like something you've had babies, you know all about babies, you know, buy these bestsellers, have a look at them, and then work out, okay, what can we do? What can we do that's different, that's better? And then you can start from there. So if you think, right, babies is going to be my thing, I'm going to look into this and I'm going to do something amazing. So again, it's just trying to find, like, what are you going to start with? So there's one way of looking at AMZ Scout. So you go through amazon.co.uk or .com if you're looking in the US, go to your Pro extension tool, boom, get into this, all the details here. So you can really start looking at it. And it's really exciting because you think, wow, look at these people here, like Plastic Fantastic, £10,500 a month selling this stuff. Yeah. More gift sets. That's pretty cute. £10,000 a month. So for many of you, boom, one product, you could do all your money here, what you want to earn. And another one here. What are they selling? £5,000. So again, great figures. This time, I'm going to take you into the actual database. So when you purchase AMZ Scout, and you don't just get that free tool, because you only get 6 searches on that free tool, so it doesn't really give you a lot, but it kind of whets your appetite, and then you're like, wow, I need this in my life. So when you get the full software, it looks a bit like this. You can search any marketplace. So literally on this drop down here, you can go all around the world. And you can do your product research up here. So you can use a database, you can use the AI extension. But why would you? Because you can actually search the whole of Amazon, all the database. So you can literally go in here and you can choose your categories. So you can clear them. You can select. So if you think, right, I definitely want to do home and kitchen. That's me. I love home and kitchen. And then you might say, I want items from £40 to £100. And I want, I don't know, I'm just making this up now, guys, but I'm going to put more, I want ratings under 4 stars because I don't really want any great ratings. So I want a way to improve them. And I want sales over, what do we want estimated revenue to be? We are in the UK. Let's put £3,000. Okay, and then we go to find products. Now, sometimes, yeah, it doesn't find you anything because I've maybe got too many filters. But for instance, if I take off the filters, it's going to find you loads. So it really just depends on how many filters. When you start saying under 4 stars, over £5,000, just in one category. So what I might have needed to do there is actually put more categories. So home and garden, home and kitchen, maybe garden, maybe DIY, and I would have got more. And again, I just want to show you what data comes up. But product score for PL, again, all the same things come up here. So it's just a matter of like searching, seeing what works, adding them to tracker. So more actions you can add to tracker. You can find them directly on Alibaba. I mean, how easy is this? Okay. So I go, okay, I want to sell this Hopi baby portable diaper, whatever it is, changing mat, I think. So you go to more actions and then you go find an Alibaba. And with one click, I'm in. Okay, I'm into the sourcing platform. And look, it's found me the exact one. Now, that seller on Amazon hasn't really done anything different, have they? They haven't changed the color. They haven't even changed the baby picture. Maybe it is the factory, who knows? But again, that's how easy it can be to find a product. But of course, us being private label freaks, we're going to change the material, change the color. We're going to make it look better. Okay, we're going to do our homework. We're going to order the sample. We're not just going to keep it as it is, because if we've found it that easy and we've just copycatted, remember, we don't like copycats, then someone else will do the same to you. And then you'll turn around and say, well, I did have a really good business for 6 months, but then someone copied me. That's what happens. Okay, so we always have to like add a twist, add an edge, do something different, and then we get a better result. Okay, we've got 5 minutes left. Can I do that again? Find it on Alibaba. Yes. So if you go and purchase the software, Sandra, remember to use the discount code KellyAMZ. When you then get your access, you can just do a month if you want to do a month or whatever. Then you literally just search it. You go into the database. So you would go into the database, and all this is on the course. So let's just go back. Obviously, you'd be UK here. You would research the product, go to the product database. So say for you, you would be going into, if you definitely want to do health and personal care, apply, and then products from, say, £30. Let's just have a look. And then you find the products, and then literally here on the left, where it says more action, you can go directly to find on Alibaba. It's really simple, guys. Like the whole thing, like when I'm taking you through from product from the beginning, you're like, oh my God, this is so difficult. It's really not. Like, you just need to find a really good product. Okay, that is the biggest thing, finding that winning product. When you got the product, boom, everything else just follows suit. Okay, time for one more question. Any more questions, guys? So use AMZ Scout Pro Extension. You can use the free ones. When you use them up, get it for a month, do your research. You could go through the AI, through Amazon, click on it, put it on your toolbar, or you can go into the main database, What's also really good is you have like things to help you build your listing when you get to that stage. So you can then resubscribe for a month. You've got keyword search, so you can see how many people are actually searching for this product. You can also steal the keywords from your competitors. So if you have got a competitor in your category, which you're always going to have, you can actually look up which keywords are they ranking for, which keywords are they putting within their, embedding within their title and their bullet points and their descriptions that are making people land on their listings. And then you can just copy them and put them into your listing. So there's lots and lots of stuff like that. You can do the review analyzer. So like I said, you can look at all the reviews. It analyzes it really quick. You can get more trending products. And of course, you can do quick view competitor analysis. So there's like loads and loads and loads of stuff you can do here. So it's a really good tool. Why I like it for beginners, there's so many other tools, but when you're beginning, there's so much to learn. It's like gives you a headache. So what I like about AMZ Scout is that it gives you the PL scores, gives you visibility scores, gives you niche scores, all of those things that just like make things so much easier. And I'm all about ease at the beginning because there's so much to learn. Otherwise, people just go, you know what, too much. I can't get my head around it. Okay, so just to keep it simple in the beginning is way better. Got some more questions. Yes. So Mira, AI. So AI is obviously all. So I don't know if you guys, I mean, I think most people maybe, I don't know, maybe I assume. So there are the AI tools within the researcher. So like what I told you, like we can do like in AMZ Scout, you can improve your products. You can look at your listing and say, what do I need to improve? Like there's AI tools within AMZ Scout that can help your listings, can tell you what you need to do, all of that kind of stuff. It's crazily good. But outside of Amazon, outside of AMZ Scout, there's a lot of AI tools that help you in your everyday tasks. So for instance, ChatGPT, I'm sure you've all heard of. There's another one that I'm using a lot at the moment. It's called Pebbly. I'll put it in the chat. It is free. I might have spelled it wrong. Hopefully not. And you can type your query. So say, for instance, you're looking at patterns and you're trying to find out. So say I want to do, you know, this new can opener, but I'm worried that I'm copying someone because I've got a pattern. I might type into Pebbly, this is the company that I'm doing research on, and I put the website and the brand name. I really want to make sure that they don't have a pattern, or if they do, I know what the pattern is and what countries it's valid in, blah, 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 blah. I would type in as much information, and then it would come back and say, oh, there is a patent on this product, or there isn't. It's patent number, blah, 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 and then give you like a link. And then it just helps you find it. So you can also, there is a patent search. You can look on the patent search as well, but sometimes the AI tools are really, really quick. Same as like if you're trying to find like competitor and like you're doing competitor analysis and you haven't got AMZ Scout and you want to find your competitors, you can be like, okay, who's selling at this price in this market, blah, 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 blah. And it'll pull you up a whole list. So there's a lot of AI tools. I would start with ChatGPT. It's free. Pebble is another good one. There's absolutely loads around. So just kind of get nosy, but it can really help you with your products. It's 9 o'clock. It's time to get out of here, guys. So remember, try to do one thing before next week. Remember the list that we looked at in the beginning? It went like a bit of a dip. It shouldn't really be a dip, but you know, it is a dip. But it's a step by step by step by step by step. Take it wherever you are and make yourself a promise by this time next week. Okay, I'm going to do my research, or I'm going to do my logo, or just one thing. And then the next week you've done it and you can do the next thing. And then you'll make great progress. Keep watching the course. If you have any questions, remember, we're always here to help you. You have a year support on WhatsApp. You also have the course for life. So if you need us, reach out via WhatsApp. For those of you on one-to-ones, obviously you're working directly with me. But for everybody else, just come through this number. We're really happy to help you. and your success is our success. So I'm gonna sign off. I don't think I have anything else to say. My brain is like running a million miles ahead of me. So hope you had a good session, and I will see you all in June, and it's going to be the 26th. So the 26th of June, can you believe it? We're halfway through the year then. Oh my God, where's this year gone? I don't know. Ramatu, if you need one-to-one help, get in touch with the number above and they will talk you through how it works, if you want to upgrade, etc., etc. And then we can get a call in and I'll do a Zoom with you and we'll figure out what you need. It's not a problem. We're always here to help you. So whatever we can do, we will do. All right. But just contact the team and they will get you booked in with me. So they have my diary. So great, guys. Thank you so much. Lots of love. Stay well, stay safe, and I will see you in a month's time. Ciao for now.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.